think most of you guys watching this are gonna catch the replay. Please, if there's any live stream that you watch the replay of, let it be this one because it's incredible. This is what I'm passionate about. This is my entrepreneurial dream. This is what I set out to do. And just to meet Tom and just, oh my God, it's like...
I feel so special.
You are like my spirit animal, man. Like, I can't believe this. Hi, everybody. Hi. You've never done a Facebook Live yet, right?
I've not done a Facebook Live.
Okay. Well, it's very similar to YouTube Live. Yeah, we're just going to go with it. Okay, so, hi, everybody. Heather here. And I am in a totally random place. I'm in Indio. Not India. Everyone thinks I'm going to India. I'm in Indio, as in close to Coachella Valley, as in close to... Palm Desert.
Yeah, by Palm Springs.
There we go.
There you go.
And this is my new best friend, Tom. I'm so excited for you guys to meet him. We just met in person, I don't know, a couple hours ago. But we've been talking online. How did you find my channel? How did we meet? Let's talk about that.
We met because, well, I found your channel looking for a boosted board review. Actually, I found your channel before that looking for Iceland information. And then I found your boosted board video, delivery video, and I didn't even make the connection that it was the same
person. Yeah.
And then through the boosted board video, it linked to some other video where you talked about digital media, and I teach digital media, and I've never heard digital media production and digital media literacy out in the wild.
I love how you say that.
And it just clicked, and I never ever leave comments on anything, and I left a comment going hey, this is super cool, I teach this, good job, it's relevant, I forget what I said, and then it just kind of...
Yeah, and at the time, Tom had no idea, at least to the extent of my entrepreneurial journey, Sharespark Media, why I quit my job, what I'm trying to do, the whole thing, and it just, my impression on the other end was oh my gosh, where have you been my whole life? I can't believe that there's someone else out there who, I think the most important part is you're a teacher, and you have this program, and it's already a thing, and that to me just validates everything. I was just flying, trying to put pieces together, but you actually have a program where you're doing this. Not only do you have a program, but check out this, check this out. This is it. This is the set that he just built. You just finished building this.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
And I'm just gonna show you guys the caliber of equipment here. Look at this. This is amazing, and this is just a little peek of everything that this program has and that Tom has. And that's what I wanted him to talk to you guys about right now. So, Tom, introduce you and the program.
Okay. So I'm Tom. This is Indio High School. This is our second year in this program, and our program is called Impact, which is a name I came up with. It's long, but it had important words that I wanted to include. So it's the Institute of Media Production Arts and Creative Technology. All important things that I just wanted kids to see and understand that that's what they would get when they came here. And so we do digital media production, pretty much, which is everything from filmmaking and audio and graphic design and visual effects and screenwriting and all the stuff that comes along with it, which is communication and leadership and collaboration skills and critical thinking and stuff that's going to be useful for students no matter what they do after high school.
Yes, no matter what industry, no matter what field you're in, no matter what capacity you're contributing to any kind of group effort, anything, these are the skills that they're learning through something that so many of them are passionate about, but they don't have the opportunity for this to be fostered or encouraged. Right. But not only is this a class and a program, it's a 4-year freaking program.
Yeah, it's a four-year pathway. And
that's just I just wanted a semester, okay? It would be great to have this be recognized as a semester, but so tell me about the curriculum, the 4-year, why is this a 4-year? Why did you choose a 4-year? What goes into it?
The idea of digital media is so broad.
Yes, we just spent 3 hours talking about that.
And the whole thing about, know how to put it. Well, I know exactly how to put it, actually. Okay. The reason it's so broad, and I wrote these courses, which are all A through G approved, so they help kids get into college and graduate from high school. They're legit classes.
UC approved?
Yeah, UC approved. They're real courses that are on the books. But they're very broad, because digital media is can be anything if you think about it. Mm-hmm. And the reason for that is because, stuff that I'm going to start teaching this year when school starts up next week is stuff I couldn't have taught last year, and it's not stuff I'll be teaching in 5 years.
Yep.
And
I
so,
would even say 2.
Yeah. And you need it, and that's actually even a better point. So why it's a 4-year program.
You're right. Yeah, that's great.
The stuff kids are learning in their freshman year is totally different from what they're going to be learning in their senior year, and it just takes. They need a safe, structured place to like build those skills.
And oh my God, see, this is why it's so fascinating to me, because like you have a structure, you're creating that, and that's awesome, but you also realize that a lot of it is going to change.
Yeah. And that's the important part, is because like education sorry. Education isn't quick to change.
Yes.
If you write these classes that are so specific and these courses that are so based on this textbook and this equipment and that, you're stuck, and it's super relevant for a year or two, and then it falls out.
But see, that's why I want to ask you is like, how did you get to a point where your school district recognized that?
So that's a tricky question.
It's so hard.
It's really hard, and we're still in the middle of it.
It's probably just, honestly, like, I'm sure you did a lot, but I feel like it was just like perfect timing.
Yeah, it's so. Oh my God, I don't know if I should look here or here. So
Yeah,
looking everywhere. My previous school district, our program there had been around for a while, and we were well known and we were established, and they trusted us, and that whole district thrived on the idea of innovation. And that was the key part, was that there were people in these key administrative positions who were okay with trying new things. And if it failed, that was fine, as long as we, learned from it.
Yes.
That's super rare.
Yeah, because they were willing to take a risk.
Yeah.
Which is, I've never seen that in education.
No, and that's what started it all. And that's why that program became so great. The school and the district understood, because it's a different district, they understood that they had sort of fallen behind. And they acknowledged it, and they wanted help fixing it. And that part, like,
that's it.
The willingness to acknowledge the need was so huge to me, that the fact they were willing to do that, I was on board like 100%.
Because you can't find that anywhere. It's so rare.
Yeah, because I don't care what lacks if you're willing to fix it.
Yes.
Like, and it's so easy, and it's so kind of like typical in education to just say, we're the best.
I wonder, like, how they came to that. Because I feel like that's, to scale your program.
Yeah,
I feel like that is what needs to be overcome.
And that's the whole thing, and the big part, and we're still struggling with it, because it doesn't...
I'm sure you see resistance.
It does involve just shifting a lot of mindsets that have been in place for a very long time.
Yes.
And that's just hard to do, and...
we're talking about like revolutionizing the classroom experience here. So this is like, we are turning back everything. I get it.
Yeah, so people get nervous when they're like,
of course.
Wait.
Yeah, it's never been tested. What are we doing? I mean, and then digital media has such a bad rap.
Yes.
On top of that, it's associated with bad student behavior.
Right. 100%. Put your phone away.
Yeah.
Get off Twitter.
Yeah.
Get off MySpace.
MySpace.
Kids are super excited about it, and they really want to learn, and
And they have an impact in terms of like the development even of the program. I feel like
the kids have the opportunity to form their program, and
so cool, dude.
That doesn't happen.
Ever? Are you kidding me? Like, you get taught. Like, even just what you're supposed to learn is just spoon-fed to you,
yes.
Oh my gosh, it's fascinating. So, okay, we can go on and on, but we're getting hungry. So, I know most of you guys are gonna watch the replay. Could you talk about the difference with digital media and digital literacy?
Yes. So
or digital savvy?
Yeah. Well, I'll kind of. This is where we were really realized we were on the same wavelength.
Yes.
Working with students immediately. This will be my 8th year as a teacher. My first year as a teacher. First thing I noticed was everybody thinks that students are super tech literate.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say everybody. Many people think that students are very tech literate. And there's a huge difference I learned right away between being tech literate and tech savvy. Almost all students are tech savvy. They can use their phones, they can do crazy stuff with apps, they can navigate the internet fairly well. But if something goes wrong, if they need to try to do something new, once I realized students didn't know the difference between like a computer and the monitor.
Oh my god, I didn't even think of that.
That was the biggest thing, where it was like, oh, I mean, we're using IMAX now, so it kind of solves that problem. But
oh my god.
But when you're like, oh, go turn off that monitor, or go turn on the computer over there, and they go look around a display, and you're like, that's the monitor. Like,
Oh
turn
my
on the
God,
computer.
see, I told you, because, you know, we took computer classes, we did.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, they would teach us that. This is what the monitor is, this is how you send an email, but they don't do that anymore, at least in the schools that I...
No.
There's no computer literacy classes.
Not at all. No typing, even.
Yeah, well, I know, but then there's nothing else.
There's
like
nothing to replace. They just sort of assume kids know it because they have kids or grandkids that use an iPad when they're 6 months old or whatever.
Terrifies me.
And that's the biggest difference. And what it is students don't recognize it because they're in the middle of it.
I don't even think they realize.
It's not their fault. Like, they're just living in their world.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
And I hate saying it, but the older generation
me too.
can't recognize it either because they don't see it. They see kids using technology and they think like...
Because it wasn't their world.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so when you're stuck in the middle and you lived in a world where like there wasn't that stuff and now there is, you see the difference.
Yes.
And you see how important it is to get kids to be tech literate and not
So
just
what is
that.
that?
So tech literate is, I mean, oh my God.
Like,
I'll give my
Yeah, do it.
mine because I don't want to step on yours. Tech literate to me, obviously, like it means you actually understand that like a computer and a display are two separate things.
Mm-hmm.
But it means it goes into, you know, something goes wrong, how to fix it. Like that's important because you understand how it works. Once you understand how it works, you can understand how to adapt it to your needs. So that way you have these two things. Maybe they're not like meant out of the box to go together, but you can find a way to make them go together, you know. Go to YouTube and find a video or find out what adapter you need to make this thing work or whatever it is. You can kind of like use technology as the tool that it needs to be. And that's a very technical side. You can use it effectively as a tool.
And that is the key. Like that is what I'm trying to explain to people is that it is a tool. You cannot say that, you know, it causes things like addiction and stuff. Okay, I'm sure it does. It does. But also, I mean, you could say that about everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if you just don't understand how to use it and you only know how to use it, you know, I guess like in bad ways, and of course you're only going to do bad things. But if you, like, I'm a perfect example of using it positively and productively, and I could give you many examples.
Yeah, I mean, even kids, okay, to do this stream, we had to override like 10 filters.
Yeah.
because schools have the fastest internet you can possibly get, where it's a dream to upload things because it takes 2 seconds to upload a 4 gigabyte video.
Crazy.
But everything is blocked. Because if kids have technology, they're only going to do bad things with it.
Can I ask you this? What is the policy at your campus?
The policy is like everything is blocked, and then of course the kids know the part where they are very literate is knowing how to get around those.
Yes, same on my campus.
But that's I think the bigger point is, yeah, there are probably kids who are gonna go to bad websites and do bad things, but a lot of kids like aren't. Most kids
they
aren't,
don't
actually.
think to.
And it's not even their thing. They're like I'm at school. I'm on a school computer. I'm gonna, you know. The worst is they'll like play a goofy game and you're like, don't play games.
Or they'll watch a YouTube video where PewDiePie is covering up a storm. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's something like that, and they usually immediately when that happens they freak out and they're like, oh no, like they know kids like structure more than you would ever expect teenagers to like it, and once they have it, like I don't know, they're fairly respectful of it, and they're respectful if they have adults that treat them like humans, they're respectful of those adults, and so they're not going to want to come into that classroom and just be jerks.
Yes, exactly.
They're people.
Yeah, and I mean everything about this place, this classroom, this studio, it's so exciting. It is so exciting. Like I don't know how a kid wouldn't want to be like, I need to go back to school and finish my project that I'm actually interested in.
Yeah, kids are super excited to
they take a full ownership in what they're doing. That's amazing.
Yeah, and we have all this cool stuff, and our campus is new, but this campus replaces a 60-year-old campus in a really, really, you know, low socioeconomic area. So it's a lot of poverty. It's a lot of like I think we're like something like 90% free and reduced lunch or something.
Wow.
Like yeah, so it's not like, well, of course these kids have all their laptops and cameras and things at home, like
they don't.
And, yeah, like I went to a school out in the LA area to visit once, and they were charging their kids $300 lab fees I could not do a $10 lab fee of my class.
Wow.
And then the teacher told me, I asked them about their socioeconomic, like, so your kids, you know, they're obviously pretty wealthy, pretty well off. And he was like, not all of them. Some of them live in apartments. And I went back home that night to my apartment. And I immediately went to school and told the kids, guess what I heard yesterday?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
But the crazier thing too with that was at this school that was so privileged, and kids, like, they were getting ready to go on their trip to Cuba for like their journalism class because their kids need to do interesting documentaries. It was the exact same stuff though. Like, those kids were using the same programs, having the same issues, making the same mistakes, having the same jokes, and I was like, it
is the same no matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a 180-degree different environment, and it was the same.
Oh, that's amazing to me.
It was crazy.
So, okay, explain, because we talked about this. I feel like you were more digital savvy than I am.
Is that good? Or?
I think that's a good, but this is what I need to learn more of.
Okay.
But I feel like you just kind of recognize the gravity of YouTube.
Yes. Well,
So
I can't say yes, but
explain that, like.
yeah.
You
So
know what I'm saying.
YouTube within education, and then I should emphasize too, there probably is a difference between tech literacy and digital literacy.
Yeah, see, these are all things that need to be defined.
Yeah.
Like, we're defining them, we're still trying to figure it out.
So with YouTube, this set that we're on is for our school does a live daily broadcast.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. Like,
It's so cool. Like, to just even, like, to do live.
yeah.
I don't know any youth group at all who would okay that.
There are
Live. Are you kidding?
Yeah, with no censor delay or
Yeah.
anything. There are
That's crazy.
there are schools that do, actually I don't know if they're live. I think there are schools that do live broadcasts, but a lot of them are once a week or like 3 times a week max. Doing it daily is insane. And I don't see all of my students every day. So some of them come in and they don't have a chance to rehearse, they just have to do it.
I love it.
It's crazy. And so the way we were doing it was we were streaming it out on this internal server for like 10 years, I think is how they were doing it. After the time it was just coax cable, like CRT televisions and stuff. And that system sucked. It was standard definition, it was super slow, it was really hard to find the stream. And so it was only accessible on our campus, or on our district's network. And so that system was starting to fail, like literally the computer died that did it.
Yes.
And so it came time where I was just like, what are we doing? And the district was like, we don't want to update this thing that's kind of a pain. And I was like, just do YouTube. Like, it's free. You need 0 subscribers. Like, literally every student and teacher in this district already has a Google account. Like, they already have the ability to just click to activate a channel.
Set up. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not, it took an afternoon to like figure out all the codes you have to like copy and paste or whatever, but that's it. And then we just started doing it on YouTube because it was easy for me, and then we could do high definition, and then YouTube catalogs the stream. So before it would end and I would have to edit it and upload it to like Google Drive and then like share it out.
And that's done all automatically.
So it saves me so much time, and it looks better, and it can go on like the school website so everybody can just see it right away. The biggest thing with that though, so I did it out of convenience, but the biggest thing was the show we were doing didn't change at all, but suddenly kids were 100% on board with it because it was YouTube and not this other weird thing that no one
they
really
don't
gets.
understand.
Yeah, they could go on their phone and watch our daily broadcast. They didn't have to wait for their teacher to turn on the thing or do whatever.
Yeah, they could like watch it from wherever they were.
If something crazy happened, they could watch it at lunch, like with their friends again. And it was YouTube, and then it was this crazy thing like, how many subscribers does the school's channel have? Like, my channel has 26, and like,
I love it.
But it was this crazy thing. Like, it became a joke because at the beginning we were trying to get 100 subscribers so we could do a custom URL just because we needed to simplify. It's easier to say just go here instead of like,
course, yeah.
Yeah. And so that became a thing where that was the joke, was like, don't forget to subscribe, like smash that like button. But it was like,
click here.
just saying that on the stream like made kids, it was their lingo. We showed up to a party they had been at.
Yes, oh my
And
God,
like,
I love it.
and that, I had in my
I can't deal. I can't.
And in my classes, I had used Vimeo for everything because we were like filmmaking, and Vimeo is
course.
so slick and so clean and so beautiful.
And they pride themselves in being a platform that hosts like this very like
and it is
high quality
wonderful
stuff.
for it. And that's what I was like, the stuff that we make that we need to share, we're gonna put it on Vimeo, like.
Of course.
Because
there's no other. Yeah. Because YouTube's for cat videos.
Yeah, and then immediately I was like, these kids are not gonna watch this on Vimeo. Like, also you can't open Vimeo on our district's network, but that's a different thing. And that's where it was like, it was just, I stumbled into this.
Oh my gosh.
And then I was like, well, yeah, I go home and watch YouTube all day. Like,
yeah, and it like doesn't occur to you, right? Like I remember that. It's like
because it's for outside.
Yeah.
It's not for here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like your phone. You put your phone away when you come into class.
I feel like, if someone were to have pitched that discussion, should we let the kids go live? I feel like that would have been shot down, but you just went with it.
Yeah.
You went with it, and you didn't because that discussion never happened. The what ifs, it's not happening.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there is a discussion that happens in my classroom before they ever sit in front of a camera, and and that doesn't mean like.
And that's part of the curriculum.
And that it's part of the curriculum, and there are consequences.
Yes.
Hardcore consequences for kids, and I blow up. I'm not gonna wait till a kid drops the F-bomb on air to do something. It's like. One, they know what to do. I don't know. Like, they understand the context and the discourse that's necessary for that situation. But it's also like, I make a big deal out of the small things. So if a kid, like, I don't know, does something minor, just super minor.
Right away.
Immediately, like, they're off the air. Like, you're not getting back to you. Write me, like, a 4-page essay about, like, professionalism and why this, and, like, what you're going to bring to this program when you come back. And, like, I don't know. I've had to do that like twice.
I wish I could have shown you the presentations of some cyberbullying and social media addiction, like speakers that were brought in. Like, it's just straight up like abstinence. Like, just don't be on it.
Yeah. So.
And what would your suggestion be to any like youth groups, schools, whatever? Like, because you're doing it and it's successful, and I can attest that it's working. So could you I don't know. Explain something that's not the way to go.
Cyberbullying things are huge. We had a student suicide last year. It wasn't really in part of that, but social media, before and after, played a huge role in it.
Oh.
Both with how kids dealt with it, both with how kids then felt when this person had posted. It's not uncommon to go through a social media feed and see worst day ever.
Yeah.
But when you see that and then you realize that person did something about it 30 minutes later,
oh my gosh.
There were those kind of discussions where it's like, okay,
how do you even talk about that? My goodness.
And I think that's the thing is coming into it with the idea that someone's going to go on a stage and give you the answer, and the answer is to put away your phone. Is not the answer.
Yes.
The answer is to go, this is new, and we're the teachers or the administrators, but we don't really know either, and you guys don't know. So let's talk about that we don't know, and let's have a dialogue.
Okay, yeah, and exactly. As they come up, because you can't predict every issue. That's so hard. How would you have explained? You can't prepare for that. You cannot prepare for that at all. And I mean, there's so many examples like that, both not as tragic and even more tragic, and it's just hard. It's just being open with the human part of it. Exactly.
And
see, that's why I think it's so funny that people say when they see a kid on their phone, they say they're being antisocial, and I'm like, you have no idea how social they are being, because what would have been the equivalent? They would have just sat home and not left the room. That is antisocial. We didn't have the internet.
It's hard, and I mean, and you can point to other examples where it's you can be on your phone being super vocal, and then you are in the real world and you don't know how to talk to a person face to face. You don't know how to introduce yourself in a job interview or something. But that's what the adults are for.
Yes.
Is to find that balance. Mm-hmm. And it's insane to think you should go into your English class and just pull out your phone and be on Twitter the whole time or whatever. That's crazy.
That's rude, yeah.
But if your English class doesn't have computers and you don't have access to a computer lab, but you have a smartphone, why not do your research there?
It shouldn't be, yeah.
Yeah, if you're, and it even happens here in our broadcast. If they're out it happens all the time. Like, they're like, I was at the football game, there was no one there, but like I took photos and made some notes or whatever on my phone. Like, can I have my phone out in class to transfer that stuff to the computer or whatever? It's like, yeah, of course. Can I have my phone out in class to, you know, just go on Snapchat? No. Yeah. Unless,
right.
like, and that's where there's no rules, because it's like...
So there's no, like, campus-wide rule on that?
There probably is. Actually, oh, no, false. Oh, I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this. There is a campus rule. Do you want to know what the campus rule on phones is?
Oh my gosh, I'm excited.
The campus rule on phones is that students can use their phones. It's not regulate like what they do on their phones, because you can't regulate that. But they can use them before school, during lunch, and after school, and that is it. They cannot use them during class. They cannot use them during passing period. Do you know how many kids are on their phones during passing period?
Every single kid?
The answer is every single kid, unless they broke their phone. Like,
oh my god.
And that right there is just like, that's prohibition. How can you enforce that law? Like, I'm not gonna go down the like.
I have so many things to say about that I just like don't even know where to start.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And I mean, some kids, like, okay, they have a 6-minute passing period. They have a classroom that's a minute away. What's wrong with going on your phone for 5 minutes?
I mean, I do that. We're one to talk. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Like, who are we to say when we're like standing in line for 5 minutes, you can't go 30 seconds without pulling out your phone?
Yeah, I have to consciously go like, I'm just waiting for my food. I'm not gonna
like don't reach. Yeah, don't reach the phone.
Yeah, and. Wow. But it's teaching that. It is teaching being present in the moment, and like, you know what?
Yes.
Like, there's a time and a place, and it's guiding students.
Yes.
It's just it's doing what a teacher does as a teacher. Sorry,
I'm just like, yes, everything you were saying, yes. I want you to end with something that no one has seen before, probably, who's ever gonna watch this. Explain what happens with a kid when you encourage them to create digital media, because that's what they consume every single day. Like, give me a story.
Okay.
Or you know, something.
Okay. So, general view of what happens to a kid when they do digital media, which is why a 4-year program, or at least a multi-year program that loops with the same teacher or teachers, so you build that relationship, is important. That's
such a big part of it.
You have a student, a 9th grader. If you think of what you were like in 9th grade.
Lost,
just
awkward.
No voice, nothing. It gives them a voice, and it gives them a place to belong, and it gives them it's the first time in their life that they realize they're not alone, that they realize they belong somewhere, that they have value, that they can do new things that have value. It's like, literally, I'm kind of tearing up thinking about it. Because I've seen like...
Yes, I have too. I totally know what you mean.
Like, kids who deal with just the worst stuff you can imagine.
But I think that's because, okay, we were talking about this earlier, YouTube is a very personal experience, and every kid is on YouTube, and there's every kind of content for every kind of kid.
Yeah.
And because of YouTube, no one else will be able to see this, because they're probably under their covers, like, you know, in their bed watching YouTube, but they feel connected because of this content from some guy in New York, and they're all the way over here in California.
Exactly. And they can create something that somebody else interacts with, or something, you know, like I showed you an animation that was from one of my students who throughout the course of a whole school year never spoke a word, and then we did this animation project. They only had like 6 weeks to work on it, and she did this unbelievable, like, incredible. It's not finished, but it's an animation she's going to keep finishing, and it was the showstopper where we had to stop and like congratulate her, deal with it, like pick her brain on her process and stuff.
And she
literally never spoke in class for a whole school year. And that's what it can empower.
There you go. I can't. Oh my gosh.
And then so that's kind of a broader thing, but like, that's a specific example. But another one is the one I told you of in my junior and senior courses. Adobe After Effects is part of the curriculum to learn visual effects and how to do cool stuff with it. The reason that that's part of a curriculum is 5 years ago I had a freshman come in my class. We were doing movies with like the freshmen got the crappiest cameras, and like they were just using iMovie, like we weren't even on Final Cut or anything. And he had bootleg After Effects at home, which is, you know, not legal. And he would do their group's movie and then go home, spend all night adding in a weird After Effect thing, come back, get his critique from his group, go home, fix it, and just do that. And finally it was like, wait a minute. Like, one, I can't encourage pirating software, so like, let's find a legitimate way. Like, we have a budget, we can afford 1 or 2 After Effects licenses.
But see, right here.
That part was important.
Because like every other person would have been like, stop. like they'll see it as a video game. You know, like this is a distraction. Like, what are you even doing? Like, they won't even try to understand. Like, but you saw it as like, wait, let's flip this and make what you're truly passionate about be the actual thing.
Yeah, and then it literally by the end of that year, it was on every one of the 40 computers in the classroom legally, and by the next year, it was part of the curriculum, and now I'm at a different school 5 years later. Like, he just graduated from high school last June, this kid.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
And the thing he brought is, and teaching After Effects isn't new, but it was new in that program, and he brought it, and now it's part of this, and that's a student. That was a 9th grader that brought it. And I don't know how to teach the part where you don't shut it down, because that comes from being shut down.
Yeah.
I got kicked out of broadcast.
Yeah, it takes a certain person who, and it's only going to happen right now because again, there's like this divide, the digital divide, and I think that students are going to have to play a part in the development of this curriculum, because this is the first time we're going to do it, and we're not going to know these things until they happen. Yeah,
and as the time goes on and the new generation becomes the generation
that's teaching the next one.
Yeah, there is going to be the flip where the literate control the savvy, because you're always going to need the literate.
Yeah.
And no matter what.
Right there? Oh my, you heard it here first? Like, okay, I'm just going to call this out right now. I feel like we are going to be, like, we're going to watch this in like 2 years, and we're going to be like, remember when we were on the couch and, like, I swear, we are having this discussion. This is evidence. And I don't...
Copyright.
Yeah, like, I just feel like we're going to be speaking on panels about this, because I was telling you this earlier, it's so relevant that it's not relevant yet.
Yeah,
but it will be
irrelevantly relevant.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can't wait to watch this in 2 years. I swear, I'm calling it right now. I promise. Like, this is going to be a whole conference and everything.
But... Gosh, my iPhone 12.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we're going to call it for now. We'll probably live stream later from YouTube, so check that out. How could people find out more about your program? Okay, so my program, the program is ihsimpact.org. That has all that info. I've got my little YouTube channel, which is not a thing yet, but it's the Enthusiasm Project if you want to watch videos that no one else is watching. So for all of that, you know, how excited and like mutually excited we are for this like obscure topic that we feel like no one else is talking about, he's not a digital content creator, or is, but is not as much as he should be, can be. I'm in my little like playpen still. So yes. Like basically like there's videos uploaded. One of them is about how this set was built. So it kind of answers that story and chronicles that as best I could. But I just like, I'm still figuring it out before I like go. Well, see, this is what's fascinating, because you're also in education. And I feel like everyone I've ever met in education blocks everything. Of course, like you can't have the students Googling you. Of course, you know, I remember that when like I had a kid found like my picture with me and my ex, and I was like, oh my god, he was hot. Like, what happened? Like, why did you break up? Da da da. So then I was like, oh, okay. But I'm also not a teacher, so it was fine. I mean, my personal life, like I don't have a lot to hide, so like it's not that shady. Like, oh no, they found my videos about 3D printers. Like, uh-oh, they're gonna find out I'm a nerd. So, okay, but yeah, we're gonna go eat dinner. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Share this video, like this video. I'm gonna rewatch this later and add all his links in the comments and stuff like that. But Tom, thank you. Yeah, no, thank you so much. It really does validate that this has value, and it needs more spokespeople and advocates. You have no idea. Like, everyone needs to know what you are doing here. It's not even just for the digital media content creators. That's a selfish reason, but not selfish. But I mean, I'm talking like youth development. It's really important. No matter where you are, like every kid needs to have. It's universally applicable. Yeah. Okay. All right, we solved it. Yeah, answer's right here. Done. All right, we'll catch you guys later. Bye.